No.
Hello, camp parents. Thank you for joining us. We're going to give just another minute or so for a few more people to jump on. We are also recording tonight's session in case anyone needs to reference it. The goal for tonight is to just go over some review on how to navigate our website and web store, highlighting a few changes in our online web store. If we have any returning families, it might look just a little different. And then there will be time to ask our camp directors some questions. My name is Kylie Lawston. My camp nickname is Dogfish. I'm the camp director down at the Marina Aquatic Center. Also on this call, we have our camp directors, Jamie Lilo Heil, Tiffany Squirrel Cody, and Steve E. Navarro Soto. So if you have any questions, you can add them in the chat or just save them for the end. Again, this is going to be kind of registration and enrollment focused, but if you have programmatic questions, just let us know and we should be able to answer those and have time at the end for those. Alrighty. So as I said, we're going to start with navigating a web store. I'm going to stop the share and switch over to a different screen. So we are going to start on our website. So on our website, recreation.ucla.edu/summer camps, you will be able to find a list of all of our offerings. They're categorized under these tile photo cards. Down below, there's some more information about our camps, frequently asked questions, information on extended care, and our partner programs with a chemistry department and the botanical garden. In each of our primary camps photo cards, if you select the camp offering, I'll start with Rec Camp and click into Rec Camp. You'll find a description of the camp, a daily schedule, and then the schedule for the summer with what weeks we are running that program and what the prices are for each program. So I highly recommend before our registration this Wednesday at 12 noon, you do some research and explore our different offerings. Some of our offerings have changed. One of the biggest ones that may affect families on this call is our Rec Camp offering. Our most popular offering this summer is a 1 week only offering, not a 2 week offering. So make sure you're looking at 1 week versus 2 week and which weeks each camp is running. Once you've decided from this website where you want to go to register, all of that is done in the Recreation online store. So from each camp card, at the bottom, it will link you to the web store for that program. So it will take me over to the web store. In order to register, I need to sign in. If you're a UCLA affiliated family, a UCLA student, staff, or faculty, you will choose this blue click here for single sign-on option. If you're a community member who has participated in programs before, you'll enter your email or username in this box here. If you are a brand new family, you will add an account down here and sign up. I'm going to log in using my email address to demonstrate here. Once I am logged in, it will show my email in the upper right corner. It's a good idea to start and check on your profile to make sure you have a profile with your birthday added in correctly. And then at the bottom of that page, you'll want to scroll down to see your family members and check that your dependents are added. This is my test account, so you'll see in this test account, I have 3 children that are all listed here with their birthdays. You'll want to confirm that all of your children are listed there with their correct birthdays, because that will affect the registration eligibility. Once you've done that, you will need to activate your camp pricing tier. To do that, you email our camp registration account. If you were a participant in summer 23, winter 24, or spring 24, your camp tier will already be activated. If you are not sure, from your main profile under memberships, you can see if you have a camp tier activated. If your camp tier does not show active for this week, for Wednesday, February 14th, you will not be able to register. We need to resolve this camp tier before registration begins. So once your profile looks correct, you can go back to the main Recreation web store page. you'll click on the youth programs icon, and you'll see all of our summer listings, and they're sorted alphabetically. So if we were going to, for instance, enroll in Bruins on Water, you'd click into our offering. You can read a full description. This is a little different than it looked before with having to show more here. And then at the bottom of the page, you'll make sure you're in the summer 24 category. That should automatically populate. And then all of the weeks will show for that camp. These are all closed right now. I cannot select them because registration is not open. To show an example where I can register, I'm going to use our spring camp offering. So I'm going to search for spring camp. And I'm going to look at the spring water sports sampler offering. Once I'm on this page, I will select this select option in the offering I want. And at the bottom, a registration pop-up will show at the bottom of whichever window. So if you're looking, it's going to be at the very bottom of your screen. You'll click this blue register button. You'll verify and move forward. And it will show your whole family and who is eligible to register. So this Kylie test is the adult on my profile. I cannot register myself because I'm outside of the ages for this program. My child 3 test is showing us active membership required. That means child 3 does not have an active camp tier. In order to select child 3, I would need to email camp registration to get my camp tier activated. Do not purchase a membership to bypass this. It has to be done by one of our sales employees. If you email camp registration, they are responding within 24 hours on business days. So for right now, it looks like I'm ready to register, and I can actually register both of these twins at the same time. This is a new feature. If you're trying to register 2 age-eligible kids in the same program, you can complete that registration all at once. So I'll select both twins, hit register, and then it will move me to a payment screen. It will ask, how would you like to pay? Pay in full is the only option. This pay less upfront is something that the UCLA does not support at this time. So the only option you can select is pay in full. You'll hit next. You'll have to review and accept waivers. So you'll expand the waiver, scroll and read through our waivers for the programs. At the bottom, you click into the gray box and sign and save. I'll do the same for the second child, read through the waiver, scroll to the bottom, select the gray box, sign and save, hit accept. Once both waivers are accepted, I can move to the next screen. The next screen will ask for some additional information. You need to add emergency contacts. You will need to add any contacts, including yourself, to this list, as well as some authorized pickups. We also will collect this information later in our CampDoc medical system, but we like to have this at time of registration in case we do have questions before camp begins. You will agree to our photo and video disclaimer. You will agree to the CampDoc registration requirement to complete medical forms at least 2 weeks prior to the first day of camp. You'll select the t-shirt size for your camper. So if you're doing 2 at once, this is my twin 2. I'm going to select a t-shirt size and acknowledge a swim requirement for this water-based program. And then for the second child, I will do the same thing. I will agree. I will select a t-shirt size. Oh, I missed an agree. And I will acknowledge the swim requirement. Once all of those fields have been completed, I will proceed to checkout, and this will put this in my cart. If I am only checking out for these programs, my two twin children in the same program, I would hit checkout now. If I wanted to continue, I would hit this continue shopping button and go back into the youth programs category. I would look through. There's not much else I can add right now. to this cart, what I will show is I will show spring extended care. For summer, we will have several extended care options. You want to make sure you're signing up for the extended care that's in the correct location for your program. For spring, there's only one location. So once again, I'll select the extended care option over on this select. If I hover over select, it shows the button. At the bottom of the page, I hit register. I verify. And then once again, it takes me to this screen. So I would need to register both twins for this program and then show if I was trying to register this child 3, they still don't have a membership. So I still would need to do it. We refer to that as our step 3 in our registration system as it's outlined on our website. That camp tier activation, it's not a membership, it's just a camp tier designation, but it's critical for being able to register for programs. So I'm going to go ahead and actually cancel this registration. I decided I don't need extended care and I just need the primary camp option. Once I have what's in my cart and I'm content, I hit checkout. If you have a card saved on your file or if you'd like to add one, you can do that here. That is a new feature of our web store. Or you can hit this checkout option and you'll be directed to a payment screen. Once I move to this payment screen, once there's a lot of traffic in the web store, this transition to this payment screen may take a minute or so. While this payment screen is loading, be very careful to not hit the back arrow or refresh your screen, as that could delay your registration. It will create an in-progress registration and won't allow you to continue. So only select that checkout once you are ready to go. I am not going to type out billing information on a screen share, and I'm not actually purchasing these camps, but that is something that you will need to be ready to do when you are registering. So I'm going to do exactly what I said not to and hit this back arrow. You will get this error message. We're sorry, we're unable to process. Please try your request again. What will happen now is if I go to my cart, it's going to flag an error. That is because I hit the back arrow and this online web store is communicating with our online payment portal and have a disruption in that connection. So we are not able to, once you're at this screen, we can't reset it. It may take 15 to 20 minutes for your account to just reset. So please be very intentional as you're clicking through and try not to hit that back arrow or refresh. So, that is the gist of registration. Again, making sure your profile is ready, your dependents are added with their correct birthdays. And if you're not sure if you're a former camp family and are wondering if your camp tier is activated, check this memberships tab on your profile to see if you have a 2024 camp tier. If you do not, you'll want to email camp registration at recreation.ucla.edu as soon as possible. Alrighty, I'm going to go ahead and end this share here. Alrighty. I've been talking for a good few minutes here. I know I went through that pretty quickly. I can repeat any of that if anyone would like, or we're happy to answer any questions people may have at this time.
In the chat, someone asked when registration will begin. Oh, thank you, E, for answering that on the chat. But it is noon on Wednesday, February 14th. So this Wednesday at noon, it will open up.
I'm going to share contact.
I have a question.
Sure.
I have a question about scholarships. Is there still an opportunity to apply for scholarships?
You can. I would reach out to this camp registration email, and they can send you a link to the scholarship form. So camp scholarships are going to be subject to availability. Our scholarships are for UCLA students, staff, and faculty only. So funding may be limited, and program enrollment may be subjective to availability. So I'd recommend reaching out to them as soon as possible. Are there any other questions? Oh, a typical day for rec camp. Lilo, that might be a good question for you to answer.
So Rec Camp is our traditional day camp program that takes place here at the Sunset Canyon Recreation Center. Again, as Dogfish mentioned earlier in this presentation, this year Rec Camp is a 1-week offering. So to run through a day really quickly, from 8:30 to 9, we have curbside drop-off up at the green curb, which is above our facility at Sunset Canyon. And then basically from 9 until noon, the kids are going to go through about 45-minute rotations. There's also an AM snack built into that schedule. At noon, they have lunch. And then in the afternoon, they would have more rotations, which in Rec Camp includes recreational swimming. And those rotations would include things like arts and crafts, a science-based activity, nature, which is sometimes more crafts, or exploring the lovely nature that we have here at the Sunset Canyon Recreation Center, going on a nature walk, going on a scavenger hunt. Did I miss one rotation? Field games, and more outdoor time with their counselors, which would include things like coming up with songs, going through camp songs, all that fun stuff. I think the next question in the chat is talking about payroll deduction.
I'm gonna get ready a screen share to show where to input that promo code. Lilo, on continuing to describe Rec Camp, can you just talk about, it's a 1-week camp, can a child attend consecutive weeks? If you want to go ahead and answer that while I prepare my screen.
Sure. So the enrollment for Rec Camp is done week to week, but it is offered all 10 weeks that we offer summer camp here. And you can absolutely enroll in all 10 weeks. You can enroll in 5 weeks in a row. You can come every other week, just whatever works best for your camper schedule. The exact activities do not repeat amongst those rotations that I was talking about, but the campers will basically go to the same rotations on a daily, weekly basis.
Alrighty. I am working on a screen share here. Let me see if I can get this to populate with what the payroll deduction promo code will look like here.
All right, I'm gonna jump down then to the question about 4-year-olds, because the other questions have to do with the MAC, and I'll let Dogfish go to those after payroll deduction. So our camps are open to campers who are 5 by September 1st. And the camps are really designed with those grade levels that are listed on the website in mind. So entering kindergarten and 5 by September 1st is the cutoff that we go by.
Alrighty, I'm going to switch my share back over to the web store. So this will be a little bit of review because I'm going back in and re-adding this to my cart. So, ooh, whoops, I still have this payment authorization here, so it's not letting me register here. This is again because I hit that back button. So to do that, this won't be as realistic necessarily, but in the cart page, if you are trying to take advantage of our payroll deduction option, there is a promo code that you will use, and the place to enter the promo code is in this box here. So if you're looking for that promo code, that's going to be on our website, summer camps. At the very bottom here, you will go down for registration instructions, to payment options, and under payroll deduction here. You will go ahead and use the promo code here, CAMP PRD 2024 will be the payroll promo code. So in the web store, once you're in your cart, you'd enter that here and you'd hit apply. Right now, nothing in my cart is eligible for that promo code, so it is not working. Once you hit apply, that should adjust down your cart total. Do not proceed to checkout if that does not adjust your cart total. So that's where you'd enter that payroll deduction promo code. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the share here and go back up to the question. A typical day for Water Sport Sampler. Our Water Sport Sampler program is a program down here at the Marina Aquatic Center in Marina Del Rey for campers entering 6th through 8th grade. Water Sport Sampler programs do sailing, kayaking, and stand-up paddleboarding. Usually the morning will consist of one of our paddle activities, either kayaking or paddleboarding. And then in the afternoon, we focus more on learning to sail. Throughout the day, we supplement those water activities with some land games, occasionally some kind of art or science projects, team building games. But that is kind of a general day-to-day for that program. If there are more specific schedule questions, I'd be happy to answer those via email, or you can let us know if you want more details than that. Let's see what else is in here. I'm wondering about registration cutoffs. If the child is in a higher grade but is not age 9 by September 1st, what is the cutoff based on? So our registration is set up by, our programs are designed by grade level. So we really want to use grade levels as the primary grade options. So a lot of our programs are either split for entering kindergarten through 2nd grade, 3rd through 5th grade, and then 6th through 8th grade, or some of our programs are 6th through 10th grade. So we do have ranges. They're not necessarily grade specific per individual grades. If your child does not meet the age requirement, however, they will not be permitted to register. So in those scenarios, your best bet's probably going to be to email us if your grade and age don't match. You can email us at youthcamps@recreation.ucla.edu, and we can figure out the best placement for you to register. Let's see, I'm just scrolling through here. Is that a 2-week program and they do the same thing every week? I'll speak to this kind of generally on the on all programs, including the Water Sport Sampler. The Water Sport Sampler is a 1-week program. Some of our other programs, our Sailing Camp and Bruins on Water programs here at the Marina, are 2-week programs. We do often have campers repeat those camps through the summer. The general schedule will be very similar, and the types of activities will be similar, but they won't be exactly the same. If we add in an art project or a game, they'll be very different or have variations each time. We have found our campers to be very successful repeating. It's not uncommon to have campers who spend all 8 weeks of our camp summer or all 10 weeks of the campus camp summer in the same program and do still enjoy it. Let's see, trying to go through here. Can my nephews apply separately as community members, and is there financial aid for community members? At this time, we do not have any financial aid options for community members. Our scholarships are limited to UCLA students, staff, and faculty, but our enrollment for all of our programs is open to any community members. I think I've gotten to everything in the chat. Other camp directors, or if anyone else on the call has any questions, go ahead and ask away. There's a rec camp question.
So the question is about changing for pool. I think the tent that the child is referring to in the question, we call them the cabanas, but they're individual, like I would say like 3 by 3 foot pop-up tents. So they are private changing areas that we implemented during the pandemic, but it does allow for a little bit more privacy than the campers would have in the locker room. Last year, we were going through some maintenance and renovation in the restrooms that are closest to the pool. So that's why we had the porta potties to provide additional restrooms for the camps. I think that part of it will be updated for summer, but we definitely will have the cabanas in addition to the locker room.
Again, if anyone has questions, go ahead and add them in the chat, or go ahead and you can just unmute yourself and ask your questions. I'm going to share this kind of summary contact information slide. If you have questions that maybe don't pertain to the whole group, you can always feel free to email us. We thank you for attending tonight. Our hope is that we can answer as many questions as possible before Wednesday at time of registration. We're anticipating our email and our phone lines to be quite busy. So if you have questions, please email us sooner rather than later.
Sorry, I came late. So for staff, we email that email, right? For your camp tier.
For your camp tier, yes. Go ahead and email campregistration@recreation.ucla.edu.
Hi, thank you. I have a question. You mentioned the tiers we would get from the registration, but if we went last summer, we would already be having that tier, correct?
Yes, you should. If you were attending last summer, if you are not sure, I'm going to recommend you go ahead and check your account. So I'm going to switch back over to my screen share to the web store. So in the web store, kind of from this homepage, once you're signed in, click your username or email in the upper right and go to your profile. From your profile, click on the memberships section and see if you have a camp tier activated for 2024. That way you know you'll be ready when the time comes on Wednesday.
Okay, great. Thank you. And then you mentioned earlier about the payroll deduction, and I'm sorry, I kind of missed some of that. Are you gonna put some more information regarding about that?
Sure. So on our website, recreation.ucla.edu/summer camps, at the bottom here, there's this section that says more information on summer camps. I recommend reading through all of this information before you register, but our payroll deduction is under the camp fees and payment options. If you scroll down and look here, there's information for a lot more detailed information on how the payroll deduction will work. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah. Switching back over here. That's all we have in terms of presentation. So if your questions have been answered and you feel ready to register, you can go ahead and jump off whenever. If you have questions, we'll stay in here for a few more minutes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Looks like we've got one more parent in here. Do you have questions for us, or are you just waiting for the meeting to end? Go ahead and stop the share here.